All right.
Tencent, baby, China.
Congratulations, Klay. And you guys on fire on threes tonight. Not only you, not only Steve, like Draymond, like Wiggins, everyone. So what have been working so well on threes tonight?
I think we took great shots. Draymond was incredible that first half. I mean, honorary splash brother right there. 5 threes, I think. And when he's doing that, our offense is almost unstoppable.
And then talk about you. We all know you're Klay. You have a huge impact on both ends on this team, right? And recently, last game, 32 points, tonight 27 points. How were you able to, play such a high intensity recently?
I'm just having fun, and I'm trying to get in the best shape going into these playoff rounds. So I'm feeling like I'm in a great rhythm, and I'm going to keep it going. And it helped that I got to hang out with my dog the last couple days, and Rocco brings me much joy, and that transfers over to the hardwood. So a very fun time in Los Angeles.
Okay, that works.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about now you won tiebreaker over the Lakers. After this win, only half game behind them. And the Kings just lost. So it's very interesting, very competitive. What's the mindset right now?
Mindset is to win all the games in front of us. 3-0 is very attainable, but we must not overlook Portland, and we must have fun every night we step on this floor and trust in each other. And we do that, and I think we can do it.
Just enjoy the basketball.
Exactly. It's the easiest formula there is.
谢谢你, thank you.
谢谢.
You guys hit 26 threes. How much of it tonight was just about being super hot?
Yeah, it was. That was the game basically, because I didn't feel like we played that well, but we made a million threes, and so the ball was going in. But I didn't think we were sharp. A lot of possessions where we just weren't quite locked in, or our passing was off target, and we were a little disjointed, but the ball kept going on. I mean, Draymond going 5 for 5 in a half, you don't see that often, but everybody got going, and to shoot 63% from three, that's crazy.
Was that like an emphasis of the game plan heading into this kind of matchup with the Lakers team that has, obviously no idea, but that kind of size of just let's try and shoot the lights out, or did it just happen that way?
We always try to shoot the lights out. Doesn't always happen, but we had plenty of looks. They were playing off of Draymond, and so he took the ones that were there, and that helped us get off to a great start.
What's been the process, right? Because the teams sag off of him sometimes. They sort of dare him to shoot, and he's talked about how there was a time when he didn't shoot, like he wouldn't be able to punish teams for doing that. What's he done to get himself in a position to hit 5 threes like that?
He worked really hard last summer on his shot. He knew that he would be asked to take more threes. We anticipated playing him at the 4 more often this year with Loon, and then eventually with Trace, and so he worked hard at it. I mean, when a guy makes shots, you just credit him for making them, but for putting the work in, and I think really getting his mind right coming into the season.
You kind of talked this week about your outside chance. Now you control your own destiny for 9. 8 became a little bit more reasonable tonight. Do you feel kind of it getting a little bit closer to reality or possibility?
Yeah, we need a little help, obviously, but all we've talked about is just win, just take care of our business and see how everything else shakes out. So many teams are playing against each other in the group that we're in, and you just never know. So we've got to keep going, keep winning, and see how it plays out.
Hey, Coach, there's been a lot of speculation about when LeBron's going to retire this year, and you also have a team with a lot of veterans that have started to be in that conversation, but he's clearly still playing at a really high level, and your guys also are playing at a really high level. Do you think that there's going to be a shift, or that there's becoming a difference in when it makes sense to talk about players retiring? Like, do you think that the conversation about what an end of a career can look like in the NBA is evolving, and should it evolve at this point?
I think what's different is players have the means to take care of their bodies year round. we are much smarter now than we were 20 years ago in terms of our training staffs, monitoring, not only minutes, but daily workload. We have the best people in the world to take care of these guys, and they hire the best people in the world in the off season. So players have gotten smarter, and they're taking better care of their bodies, and we're smarter about trying to help them lengthen their careers. And you're seeing the same thing in other sports too. The tennis player. I mean, it wasn't. I think Bjorn Borg played tennis till he was about 28 years old or something, and Roger Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, they're all still going. So we just know a lot more now, and players have the means because of the economics to really put a lot of resources into keeping their bodies in great shape for as long as possible.
Stephen, in what ways, with both Chris and Klay accepting and doing well in a reserve role throughout different parts of the season, what ways has that affected the rest of the group?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris set a tone from the very beginning by giving up his starting spot after not coming off the bench for a single game in his Hall of Fame career. He set the tone for the group. He basically made the sacrifice, and it's amazing. I said this before the game, I think, but this is by far the best we've been in the non-Steph minutes since I've been here, because you got Chris Paul, Hall of Fame point guard, running the offense, getting us good shots over and over again. But it's more than that. It's his competitiveness. It's his intelligence. I have so much confidence in him that when Steph's not on the floor, it's I used to sort of cross my fingers, and now I feel really confident. In fact, I thought the key stretch of the game was at the end of the third when they were making their run, and we brought the bench in, and Chris led a really good run at the end of the quarter that changed everything. And then I think Klay has been in a great place, the last couple of months. He wasn't thrilled about coming off the bench initially, but handled it beautifully. And whether he's started or come off the bench now, he's been just fantastic. He's very much at peace with himself and playing well and enjoying himself, and it's great to see.
Last one, Ramon. Steve, this is just a Bay Area hoops question. I don't know if you saw the news. It kind of came out during the game. Tara Vanderveer is going to retire from Stanford. And I don't know if you had a relationship with her or just admired from afar sort of what she's been able to do at Stanford, but just curious your thoughts on that news.
I told just now, so that's big news. I love Tara. She's amazing. And we've connected quite a bit in the Bay. She's come to our practices. I've seen her down on their campus. I have so much respect and admiration for her, and my initial reaction is I'm thrilled for her. She can go water ski. She loves to water ski, I know. So congrats, Tara, on an amazing career. All right.
I was like, no Wiggins yet. I know he's probably.
Both. I expect Gary and Wiggs to both play, but they got to go warm up and see.
Starters.
And what?
Starters?
No, not totally. Not feeling that generous today.
We kind of asked you this in Dallas when Luka was kind of a late scratch, but with no Davis and still maybe no LeBron, how game plan shifting is that, particularly I guess on the offensive end, probably with Davis.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shifts your thinking in terms of matchups and how you have to attack, all that stuff. But you don't really make any dramatic changes. You still have to play your own game. These are the games where you just you don't let your guard down because somebody's missing one of their best players. You have to go out and execute, play your own game, and not worry about who's out there for the other team. It's really about how we execute. And And we'll see. I mean, we've lost so many of these games over the years because, and we talk about it all the time, like if the other team's missing someone, that means there's another NBA player coming in who can't wait to get out there. And teams tend to play with more energy and force when they're missing guys. And so you have to be ready for that force, and that means, it's really about us and our execution.
Steve, what's your gauge of your comfort level with how things are going the final week of the regular season?
My comfort level?
Yeah.
I'd feel much more comfortable if we were in sixth.
Yeah.
That's where my comfort level would be.
Yeah. And given that, where do you rank seedings as far as even just playing and the importance of everything else?
I mean, the only thing that you can really think about is just get the best seed you can. 6 would be ideal, obviously, but probably not happening. So then you shoot for 7 or 8 if you can get there. But you don't spend a whole lot of time, like going through all the possibilities, and you just try to go win the game and see what happens. But both the Lakers and us, we have had great last 6-8 weeks and barely moved in the standings. So it's the West is awfully tough this year.
Coach, D'Angelo Russell's having arguably the best season of his career. When you're watching film and stuff like that, what are you seeing that's different from his time with you guys versus where he is now?
Well, he's a few years older and wiser, and he was a hell of a player when we had him. I mean, he'd been an all-star already at that point with Brooklyn, and was a great scorer, a great passer. So he's just gotten to a different level in his own career based on his experience, and obviously playing with some great players, and I think they've found a pretty good groove. Good lineup combinations, and he just looks like he's playing with a ton of confidence.
Typically, it's around this time of year, maybe a week or so left in the regular season, when you start hypotheticalizing, I guess, about playoff matchups and stuff. But that being said, with you and the Lakers kind of right there in that 9-10, do you start thinking about, okay, this is who we may have to go through to get into the playoffs, even without AD, maybe LeBron, this is how we match up against them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of looking that way right now, but there's still a lot that could happen. So again, you think about it, but you don't go too heavily into it because there's no point. All you do is prepare for the game and go try to win, and then you move on to the next day.
Steve, speaking of things thinking about that there's no point to think about. Is there a human nature element of when you're in a race that's this tight to think about, like, the night we stubbed our toe in Charlotte, or like the one that got away in November? Like, and does that ever enter your mind this time of year as you're looking at those standings?
I never think about those things.
Along those same lines, do you scoreboard watch at this time of the year?
Yeah, but not during the game. I don't sit there and stare.
Sure.
But as soon as the game ends, I go in the locker room and I look at my phone and see what happened out there. And it is fun. I mean, it's we were in this spot last year, probably having this exact same conversation, because the Lakers were in the same spot, and we were able to sneak out of the play-in and get to 6. They obviously played their way in and had a great run, and so I think the play-in has been great for the league. I think it's kept more teams engaged. It's made for some really exciting single elimination games for the fans to watch, and if it weren't for the play-in this year, we would be just about out of things. So I liked it before when it didn't benefit us, but I really like it now.
I think you have 4 games in the last 6 nights. I know what happens tonight, can help or hurt how high you can climb. But how much will you prioritize potentially rest for some of your veterans, Draymond dealing with back, Steph, we already talked about Klay even. How much is that in your mind?
It's a possibility, but it's not on my mind now because I'm just thinking about tonight, and we'll just take it one day at a time. We'll wake up tomorrow and have a lot more information on where we stand in the standings and where our players' health is. So let's take it a day at a time.
Klay mentioned he was kind of proud of himself for playing 75.
Yeah.
How important is his durability?
Yeah, Klay's been there for us every night. What I love is that he just looks really fluid and bouncy right now. I think he's gotten through the toughest parts of the season and emerged here. He's played great for the last 6 weeks or so, but the other night he just looked so bouncy and energetic, and I think we're getting a great version of him right now.